Hi everyone. Come on in, say hello. Let me know if you're watching this on replay, if you're here live, if you're new to me. We're going into May. This weekend coming is May. I don't even know how that's possible. I don't even know how that is possible. So let's get into it. We are here on Monday, not Sunday this week. I was traveling yesterday. We did a Messages from Spirit event in Cheticamp, Nova Scotia. What a beautiful spot. What a beautiful community. Oh my gosh. The messages were amazing. It was like, I think we were on the second person receiving the messages, and all of a sudden I'm hearing the whole room react, and I'm like, oh my God, you guys all know each other. So it was really cool to have such a beautiful experience where the entire event room knew, most of them knew each other, knew each other's stories, knew each other's departed loved ones. So that was really, really neat. And I also have to share with you, there was a lady there, her mother's departed. And I said, I don't know. I don't know why she's yelling at me, but she keeps saying, butter, not Basel. Butter, not Basel. And apparently her daughter's a baker and she's a banker, and they prefer butter, not Basel. Fast forward to this morning when I was hollering out my Basel to make the kids their breakfast. I was like, I'm never going to look at the Basel ever again the same. I am never going to forget that lady in her mother's spirit, because it will live rent-free in my brain now. So amazing. This is what I love about what I do, is that you never know. You never know what your loved ones are going to say, what they're going to choose as a validation. Just amazes me. So let's get into this. The last week of April, our weekly guidance. Just a reminder, June, I am in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and Sydney, Nova Scotia. So if you want to come see me in person for a Messages from Spirit event, you can head over to my website at angelamcclellan.com. All right, so the light is coming, okay? There's this feeling of, can I keep going? That little engine that could really needs to catch a break. May is definitely bringing that in. Okay, May is definitely bringing that in. And so as we edge towards the end of the week, things may be kicking up even more. Past experiences, past emotions, anything that we need to look at in a different lens, very timely. Okay, I know that you're tired. I know that you're tired. Okay. Just hang in there for another little bit, because the abundance and the prosperity and the good fortune and the peace and the love is coming in. Okay. So we really do want to, I just heard lower the bar, just lower the bar. Right? And so we want happiness and we want peace. We don't need it in big egotistical ways. Right? And so there's this focus on it. And I just keep saying, look what's already in front of you. Look what's already in front of you. Okay. And so there is this need to retrain our brain. There is this need to retrain what we are focusing on. We have been saying for weeks, and if not months, of clean up your social media, watch what you are ingesting, energetically, media-wise, food-wise, alcohol, drinks. We want to make sure that we are creating a peaceful experience. Your divine team, God, your angels, Jesus, cannot give you peace if you are dead set on not living a peaceful life. Okay? So there is still this feeling of accountability. You are the co-creator with the divine of your experience. And so if there's anything in your experience that isn't up to snuff, guess what? Good news is you are who can change that. Bad news is you are who can change that, right? And so it depends on what side of that coin you're going to see. And I know that you're really tired right now because we're at the very tail end of a very hard years. And so the piece that you're looking for must look different, right? And so giving yourself that ability and that flexibility of being like, this is peace for now, and then the flexibility and the ability for that to then morph into a different season, a different level, etc. Relationships and communication this week can be a little tricky. Okay, maybe a little tricky because there's this buzz of irritation. There's this buzz of chatterbrain. Can also be like broken sleep, insomnia, very vivid dreams, which then you wake up tired from. And so this is all kind of playing into potential of conflict, potential of misunderstandings, right? So just kind of be a little bit mindful, especially us who are awakened and who are aware. What we can do is ground our energy and try to neutralize it. We're not out there people pleasing, but we're understanding what's happening to those who don't understand what's happening. Right? And so we can choose to let things slide. We can choose not to engage. We can choose to, communicate in different ways, send follow-ups, etc. And so there is this feeling, or there is this, message of compassion and understanding, and not to give up. Not to give up on humanity, not to give up on things will never be better, not to give up on when is the good is never going to come for me, because there's very much this feeling, because every time I say that, they go, it's in you. It's literally in you. Okay? And so there is this need for you to go within, to tap in, to lead, be the leader, right? And show the way, bring the light. And I think that that's going to really be very purposeful with how that transforms your life experience. Okay? There seems to be a high attention on material things. Okay? Money, opportunity, status, material belongings. Spirit is very urgently reminding us that nothing manifests externally before it manifests internally. So we need to go within, right? You want your outside world to change? Guess where that starts? In here. Okay? And so there is this need, and I know there's all kinds of excuses. Look at the world that we're living in right now. Look at what media is saying. Look what's happening day to day today, right? You can turn that off. You can just turn it off, right? You can choose to put your time and attention somewhere else. You can choose to read books. You can choose to walk outside. You can choose to have a chat with your neighbor, right? We get to dictate, and it's very much this feeling of like bringing us back to the way it used to be, right? We didn't know everything about everybody and all these strangers across the world, right? We have our own little world. Focus on what you love. You can't even focus on what you love because you're so distracted by other people's choices, words, actions, misbehaviors, right? And then we take that on. And so there's very much this reminder of like, you are in control of your experience. You're in control of what you bring in, the energy that you allow into your experience. And that is where you're going to start to change. Okay. And that's where all of a sudden we're sleeping better. We're feeling better. That buzz of anxiety, that buzz of dread, like everything's just going to go boom, right, is going to be behind you because you're focusing on love. You're focusing on those who you love. You're focusing on yourself, who you love, you should love, that is made of love. You're focusing on activities that you like, that you enjoy. Maybe we're getting into gardening. Maybe we're planting our seeds. Maybe we're getting back to painting. Okay. There's very much this need of like, you get to choose what you consume. And that's really, and if you don't think that it makes that big of a difference, take 3 days off of social media and the news completely. I know in the past months, I went off all social media platforms, except for the one that I use mostly for work. You wouldn't believe the difference in my mental health. You wouldn't believe the difference in my sleep patterns and how I'm feeling day to day. It matters. It matters. Even if you go, well, I know that that's not true and I'm intellectually choosing not to believe that. Your aura, your energy is absorbing it. You're absorbing that energy, right? And so it's so important for you to try it out and see the difference that you feel and that buzz within you, that kind of motor that keeps you going, right? In survivor's mode, in fight or flight. It will get quiet real quick, guys. Really encouraging you to do that. And then all of a sudden, you're not getting caught in, and you have all of this mental time and energy for the people that you love and the hobbies that you love and the goals that you want to set. How many times do we receive a good idea and be like, I'm going to do that, and then it's gone because we're so distracted and paralyzed by other people's stuff. Okay. And so really, really important. Do a cleanup on your social media. Get off platforms that are not for your highest good. Okay. Watch what you're consuming, right? Makes such a difference. Good things are coming. There you are receiving. Okay. There's nothing that you cannot do. Nothing that you cannot do. You can, because there's this feeling of, guys, I had such a good time in Cheddar Camp yesterday. Thank you so much for having me. I know in the beginning of the video, I was saying like, it was such a nice experience because your community is so close knit that we were on like the second message. And I was like, oh my God, everybody knows everybody. And that was so beautiful for me to see like just the whole room receive and understand the validations that were coming in. It was beautiful. I would love to be back. Love to come back. There is very much this feeling of as we go into May, right? As we go into May, that we want to prioritize the things that we love, and that's simplicity. That's simplicity. You know, the weather's getting better and we'll be able to be outside more. Get a tea, walk the beach, walk the dogs, sit in the park. We need it so bad, more than we ever did. And I even feel like, dare I say, more now than we did in 2020 when we were locked in, right? And so we know what we need. We have to allow ourselves to receive it, okay? Love it. Positive after negative. I literally have the chills going up and down my body right now. The 10 of Cups is coming out the other side of the storm. The positive after and the negative. Baby after miscarriage, love after loss, healing after hurt, abundance after lack, peace after struggle. Coming out under that dark cloud into the rainbow and sunshines. That is May. Okay? That is May. That is what's coming. We are so close. Hang in there. We are so close. Okay? Nothing like a little drama to finish up April, right? That could be internal. That could be stuff coming up for you. That could be anxiety. That could be, like you said, this kind of static energy that I'm feeling. Be mindful to release it. Be mindful to say, you know what? I'm going to lean into it. Today's card. Emotions are coming up. Instead of going, ick, I don't like this emotion. I'm going to distract myself or go the other way. Go, why is this coming up? What is this telling me? What's this really about? Utilize the emotion. Emotions are fleeting. They're moving out anyways, right? If they're coming up, and especially if they're coming up repetitive, they have wisdom for you. So ask yourself, what is this emotion telling me? Where is this coming from? Okay. And what I find with emotions, it's not, surface level. It's usually more deep rooted that's triggering it, and it may be coming out in different ways. So you do want to deep dive it. I love to use the 5 whys reflection tools. Why am I feeling this? Answer, take the answer, ask that why, take the next answer, ask that why, and you can get really down into the core of things. And it's amazing. It's amazing of how you don't even, it's like almost never even related, or that you would think that it's related. Yes, exactly, Bethany. Be curious. We're so used to going, ew, don't like this. Let me find something that I like. Drink it, eat it, buy it, whatever, right? We do really want to lean into it and go, what does this have to teach me? I'm so excited for May. Literally so excited for May. And a lot of the turmoil within relationships seems to level out in May as well. So hang in there a couple of days before we call it quits. We want kind of this stable energy to come in is what they're saying. All right. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I'll be back next Sunday with your weekly guidance.